Hello and welcome to the programme. History was made at the Cricket World Cup today, but for controversial reasons. Sri Lanka's Angelo Matthews became the first international cricketer to ever be timed out, and he was furious. Matthews protested that his helmet strap had broken, stopping him from being in position to face his first ball within the required 2 minutes. But opponents Bangladesh insisted that he was in violation, and so he went. The former captain said they had brought the game into disrepute. It came amid difficult conditions for both teams, with an air quality emergency declared in Delhi in the days leading up to the match, which Bangladesh won. Patrick Geary was watching.
A murky Delhi.
Strong words there from Angelo Matthews. Well, earlier I spoke to former Ireland international Niall O'Brien, who was watching the match for 5 Live. I got his reaction on Angelo Matthews, but I began by asking him how tough it was to play when the air quality wasn't good. I've been the first international batter to be timed out. What's your understanding of actually what happened?
As an ex-player, I wouldn't be comfortable, you know.
A few times today, spirit of the game. And we saw some images actually afterwards of the Sri Lanka coaching staff shaking hands with the Bangladesh players, but the Sri Lanka players were nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Niall O'Brien speaking to me earlier. Well, bonfire night may be over, but we're expecting fireworks later when Maurizio Pochettino returns to his old club Tottenham. He's now in charge of a Chelsea side who are in the bottom half of the Premier League table. They've won only 3 league games this season. And in sharp contrast, Tottenham have won 8. Well, BBC London reporter Phil Parry is at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium for us.
Hello.
Now to some big news in the Women's Super League over the weekend. Chelsea manager Emma Hayes is to leave the club at the end of the season and is hotly tipped to become head coach of the USA national side. After 11 years and 13 trophies with the club, it'll be a big task to replace her. Chelsea beat Villa 6-0 at the weekend in a pretty busy fixture list in the WSL. And there was some animosity in the Arsenal-Manchester City game. City manager Gareth Taylor today said that he stood by his accusation that Arsenal manager Jonas Eidevall was bullying the 4th official. Well, our women's football reporter Jo Curry joins us now. Jo, we'll come to that in just a moment, but let's start with Emma Hayes. What a loss she's going to be. She's built up such a legacy at Chelsea, but is it just time to move on?
Well, despite the fact, I think
it's time to take a quick look at some of the other sports news stories today. Now, while the Cricket World Cup continues in India, another version of the competition has reached its conclusion in Chennai. 16 countries competed in the Street Child Cricket World Cup, a tournament trying to connect young people from across the world and aiming to promote their rights. Daniel Norcross followed 2 players taking part. Now, finally, we mentioned the scheduling issues with the WTA earlier in the programme, with some players not managing to get from Cancun to Seville for the Billie Jean King Cup. Well, 3 of the 5 members of the Czech team have been badly held up. But the players who were there wanted to make sure the others were included in the preparations. Take a look at this.